About a month ago, I reviewed the Infinix Smart 10. It's an entry-level phone from Infinix that would cost you around 100,000 naira. But if you had a little bit more money, about 150,000 naira, then you could get this, the Infinix Hot 60i. Today we'll be looking at what you get when you pay more, as well as who I think this phone is for. Okay, so what do you get for 150,000 naira? For starters, you're getting all accessories you're going to need in this phone's box. Nothing is missing. You're also getting a design similar to the more expensive Hot 60 Pro and Pro Plus. And even though this phone is quite cheap and made mostly of plastic, it is still quite durable. It passed the 1.5 meter drop resistance test, and it's also IP64 rated. This phone isn't as slim as the 60 Pro Plus, but it is still slim. Its frame is about 7.7 millimeters. And then, in addition to being slim, it's also lightweight, about 188 grams. So even though this phone costs less than $100, it doesn't look or feel cheap, which is a good thing. You'd notice that in addition to your typical power and volume buttons, this phone comes with an extra button, the one tap button. It's essentially a button you could use to do anything. You can set the double press to do anything you want. You can use it to open an app, turn on the flashlight, or even turn on Do Not Disturb. And then a long press would wake up Folax. I set my double press to mute my phone. The power button on this phone doubles as a fingerprint reader. So yes, you can use your finger to unlock this phone. This phone also has a headphone jack. Nice to see. It has stereo speakers, which sound really good, by the way. It also has an IR blaster, which you use for controlling your electronic appliances. And that tray on the left side of the phone holds 2 of your nano SIM cards and an SD card. So yeah, with this phone, there are no missing ports, buttons, jacks, everything's here. While I was testing this phone, I watched some YouTube videos. I wanted to see how this phone handled color and how detailed the display was. For specs, this has a 6.7-inch 720p LCD display. These are respectable specs for a phone at this price. I don't think you find anything better. And then when I watched content, I wasn't disappointed. Colors looked good and very much detailed. Now, of course, this display wouldn't look as good as a more expensive phone. I mean, it wouldn't be a budget phone if it did, but I would say for the price, it's good. It's really good. And again, it's the best you'd find at this price. On the spec sheet, you notice that this display refreshes at 120 Hz. And yes, it does refresh at 120 Hz, but for a few apps. For most apps, it would hover around 90 Hz, which is still smooth enough. The display also goes up to 700 nits of brightness. That's a slight upgrade from its predecessor. And then, even though this phone has an LCD display, it somehow still has the always-on display feature. This used to be a feature we only got on really expensive phones, so it's cool that we can see it now on budget phones. The Hot 60i uses the Helio G81 chipset. It's a processor that can easily handle basic smartphone tasks, calling, texting, social media, and even some light gaming. I'm using the 4GB 128GB variant, which I think is the only variant being sold now in Nigeria. And yeah, my experience so far has been fine. Again, like I said, if you stick to the basics and make sure you have enough storage on your phone, you would enjoy using this phone. I didn't do this on my own phone, but you can add an additional 4GB of virtual RAM to this phone. I don't see why you should do it, but you can. Performance is fine. It's not the best you can get at this price, but it's fine. The Infinix Hot 60i is running on XOS 15 based on Android 15. It comes with a host of AI features, from the AI image optimization features you get when you take a photo, to Folax, Infinix's AI voice assistant. I talked about her in my Smart 10 review, but yeah, Folax lets you do a bunch of stuff, from answering simple questions to summarizing web pages. She's quite useful. I don't think this next feature is on the Smart 10, but on this phone, you can turn your sketches to images in the Notes app. I can see this being useful for a lot of people. There are a couple more of these AI features, and you can find all of them under Infinix AI in the Settings app. The Hot 60i is probably the cheapest smartphone out right now with this many AI features. A lot of other smartphones at this price don't have that many, if any. Okay, so earlier I mentioned that with this phone, you get some AI image optimization features. When you take a photo, there's a bit of processing that happens to make the photo look essentially better than what you saw on the viewfinder. The photos I took from this phone's 50 megapixel sensor were fine. The 8 megapixel selfie camera obviously isn't as good as the main camera, but with the right lighting conditions, that too was fine. I feel like I say this all the time, but really, when you give your phone enough light, you have better chances of getting a good photo. Oh, and this camera is definitely a step up from the 8 megapixel sensor we had on the Smart 10. Right now you're looking at the front-facing and rear camera of the Infinix Hot 60i. I'm shooting at the highest possible resolution, which is 2K 30 FPS. I don't know if you can tell, but there is no stabilization, even at 1080p. So if you want stable footage, you might want to use a tripod. But yeah, similar to what I said about taking photos, just give this camera enough light and you could get okay results. The Hot 60i comes with a 5160 mAh battery. With light to medium use, this phone would easily last a whole day, with like 20% left. Of course, if you're constantly on your phone, maybe gaming, then yeah, this would last for about 7 to 8 hours. But with light to medium use, like I said, you will need to charge till the end of day. Charging on this phone is also quick. This is one of the only two phones at this price point that supports 45-watt wired charging. A full charge will take you a little over an hour, which is really quick, and also a significant upgrade from its predecessor. The Hot 60i is still at the end of the day a budget smartphone. It's designed for people who just want to do the basics. Phone calls, text messages, social media. They want to take some photos, maybe do some light gaming, the basics. But on top of nailing the basics, Infinix went further and added a couple extra features, like the Aero Blaster, the one-tap button, the AI features this phone gets, or even really fast 45-watt wire charging. All of these extra features make this 60i a very compelling smartphone to buy. I remember saying something very similar about the Smart 10. I said it's good at the basics, it nails that, and then also has some nice extra features. So yeah, just like how the Smart 10 is one of the best phones you could buy if you had 100K, this phone, the 60i, is also one of the best phones you could buy if you had 150K. Let me know what you guys think though down in the comments. I'll be down there talking to you guys, and I'll see you when you see me.